You're watching JUNO TV. I'm Lauren Toyota, and I get to hang out with Mike and Max from Arkells today. Now, you said you wanted to get heavy today, like you wanted to get into some deep stuff in this interview. But you did say that High Noon is your most confrontational album yet, which confrontational to me is a pretty deep word. It's a pretty big, intense word. What did you mean by that?
Well, basically, so we spent a lot of time in the van on tour, and Nick, our bass player, has a saying, the best way to kill time is to get into a heated debate. So normally we just like listen to a lot of podcasts in the van, and so we'll listen to a podcast on politics or economics, and then Mike and Nick will just start screaming at each other.
Even if we don't disagree, that's the best kind of argument.
Yeah,
when you actually agree with each other, but you're letting
still,
it roll. You know?
Yeah, and then usually I'm in the middle going, guys, you guys are actually saying the same thing, but just differently. And then I'm just scribbling down notes, and a lot of those conversations and a lot of the podcasts have like informed sort of like my political thinking, and that comes through in songs like Fake Money and Systematic, Cynical Bastards, What Are You Holding On To? Yeah, and it's fun. It's like, I think the best music is honest music, and this is, I think, our most honest record.
You're not too anarchist, though, which is good. Like, the music is not, you know, very confrontational. The music is very palatable and poppy.
Yeah, well, that's the thing. We listened to a lot of Clash, actually, on the record. And Clash, actually, Cynical Bastards was inspired. We were playing Rock the Casbah, and Rock the Casbah was like a party jammer. It's so good that Will Smith made it into the New Year song. That's it.
What is the New Year song? Yeah.
It's like
Millennium. What?
Millennium. I think it's Millennium.
Millennium.
Yes.
They used the Clash sample. But if you actually read the lyrics, actually to any Clash song, even though the music's really joyous and it's fun, it's poppy, you know, you can read the text and it's really saying a lot. And so that's sort of like the structure of our song, Cynical Bastards. If you played the two back to back, you'd be like, wait a second. But I just spilled the big secret.
Now, I don't know, you guys have so many different musical influences, and I seem to pick up on the real 80s kind of sound. Maybe that's just because that's what I like, so I hear that in your music, but is that very intentional? Because you've done it throughout all the albums, and Michigan Left is what really came through.
Yeah, I think that era of music is something that we've discovered later on in life. Like when we were you know, kids, 80s music was not like cool, like that wasn't something that we would listen to, and if we did, it was like our parents were playing it, we were mad about it, but now that we're getting a little older, I think we can like look back and start to appreciate that stuff, and that's just a part of us, you know, moving through music and our collections growing, and that music also has like a nice like way that it moves, and I think that really brought us in.
It's also so simple, the 80s music. Like I feel like music can be so complicated now into like over-analyzing everything, but in the 80s it was just good all around.
Yeah, and like the melodies were really clear, and the thoughts were really clear, and yeah, I think clarity was something that we tried to get to on High Noon, for sure.
I think that, I mean, a lot of bands that I talk to, a lot of Canadian bands too, their biggest sort of goal when they start a band is to just be able to do the band full time and not work other jobs. And that's a fine goal, and you guys have done that, and you've had a lot of other successes on top of that. But I just wonder, there's got to be a bigger dream than that, because you've done that. So now what are the Arkells kind of dreaming about and working toward?
It's just holding on to that for as long as we can. You know, I remember reading a quote from The National, and they said something like, it feels like we're playing hooky right now, and like one day somebody's going to say like, go back to school, or get back to class, and get back to your desk. So I think, yeah, what we have is a pretty precious thing in its own right. And I think being able to, keep the job fresh, I think is, and I don't know if that's sort of like an undefined thing, but is probably like my biggest goal. It's just like keep it fresh, keep it fun, and not have to work at a desk. So, and so far so good. It's definitely like a lucky experience. It's not like we never assumed it would ever happen, or I never thought that this would happen. Get it?
There we go. See, I knew it would end perfectly. Thank you.
I was saving that just for last.
Thanks, guys.
Hey, I'm Max.
I'm Mike.
And we're in the Arkells, and you're watching JUNO TV.